Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Newlyweds channel. And this is a really special episode. We are talking about weddings in Ireland. Now, not many people know that before moving to Portugal as a teenager, I lived in Ireland for a year when I was 13. So I have a lot of affection for the country. I know a lot about the country too. So it was really nice to learn about weddings in this beautiful country. So I'm speaking to Sandra from Infusion Wedding Concepts, and she's going to be talking us through how to get married in Ireland and what you need to know. Let's dive in.
Wonderful. So I am here with Sandra from Infusion, and today she's going to be talking to us about getting married in Ireland. Thank you so much for coming onto the channel.
Thank you so much for asking me. My pleasure to be here.
Well, so excited to talk to you about getting married in Ireland, because not many people may know that I have a long history with Ireland, and it's got a real place in my heart. So I'd love to know a bit more about you and how you ended up planning weddings in Ireland, because you yourself are not Irish, are you?
Now, I probably my accent still will sell me on that. I'm actually German, but I'm in Ireland since 2006. My background is a little bit that I work over 20 years actually in the hospitality and the event industry. I used to be a restaurant manager here for a long time, and then I have a catering company with my partner together for the last 8 years. So we do loads of events, all kind of family events, weddings, and whatever. And I turned then 40, and I just felt like I needed a new challenge, and it was just important to me to build a more personal brand to myself, and which is more meaningful. And I got led to weddings, which is anyway one of my favorite events, and I did launch Infusion.
Wonderful. So that's a really cool backstory to how you ended up in Ireland. And tell me why you love creating events in Ireland, and why specifically wedding couples from around the world should consider Ireland as a place to get married.
I mean, Ireland is just a beautiful country. It's of course it's called the Queen Island. It's just it has a gorgeous nature. The people are very beautiful. It's kind of located so most it has Dublin Airport, and most cities all over Europe or whatever fly to. It has a beautiful countryside, and like if you're kind of a little bit an adventurous couple and being passionate about nature, and as well it could be the history, and kind of, I mean, like, I know Ireland just does a great job in Germany kind of promoting their country. It's all kind of the Kerrygold butter and the sheeps and all kind of, so if you're into that, Ireland is just a perfect country for you.
Beautiful. So I know how beautiful Ireland is, but for anyone who doesn't know much about Ireland, tell us what we can expect to see. What scenery are we expecting in Ireland?
I mean, Ireland is just a green island, so you're surrounded from the Irish Sea, which is just beautiful. You have gorgeous cliffs. If you go down to Howth, cliffs of Moher, down to Donegal, you have gorgeous beaches. Of course, I mean, it's not like in Spain, but they're just you can have beautiful walks. I love to do that every morning. Kind of, I'm very lucky to live close by the beach, and it's all very green, and you have a lot of the limestone, which I just adore. If you go down to Connemara, and it can be all very just a very natural, and being close to the countryside, where you see the sheep running over the street. I mean, everybody probably knows, girls know the leap here, so that's still kind of very authentic.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, I remember those times, like having to stop the car for a whole fleece of sheep just to pass in front of you very, very slowly as well. I remember those days. And let's tell people about the food, the cuisine in Ireland, because I don't think a lot of people know about what proper Irish food is like. And I'm really fond of it, but tell me more about what we could expect.
I mean, the cuisine is kind of course, I mean, if you would go really back to be very traditional, you would have the beef and Guinness stew, and you would have the coddle or whatever. I think I haven't even eaten that, but kind of, which is.
Oh, I have. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the beef and Guinness stew I have, but coddle, yeah, that's just a little bit, but I'm not into lemon now kind of stuff anyway. Which is very traditional, but because there is so much farming here in Ireland, they take great pride on locally sourced ingredients, and you can get beautiful beef. They are very much into cheese. Then it's all kind of about the dairy, like butter, something Kerrygold butter is big in Germany. Kind of they do a good job, but as well they're very much there are very many talented chefs. So the cuisine is actually surprisingly very good. And if you go into bigger towns, it could be like Dublin, Galway, and Cork, you will be just surprised how many great restaurants you will find which can give you a really elevated dining experience.
Absolutely, and you're totally right. I've had some of the best food in the world in Galway, and everyone's really surprised when I mention that, but it is just incredible. Fabulous. So let's talk about stuff that are not so great about Ireland then, because I love to be a bit scandalous and we want to be a bit honest on this channel. So what would you warn a couple from overseas about getting married in Ireland?
I mean, it's a little bit, of course, if you know the Irish weather, and it's quite known, and that's really true. You can have 4 seasons on one day. It can be sunny, you can have hailstones, you can have rain, and it can be windy. So that makes it, of course, a little bit difficult to plan outdoor weddings or outdoor ceremonies. You can do, I mean, it's probably all a little bit breezy because we don't get much over 25 degrees, and that's just kind of the backdrop. I mean, the Irish are okay because like when it hits 20 degrees, they're already talking about a heat wave. And you're kind of still putting your jacket on and think it's a little bit chilly. But if anything what you plan outdoor, you need to have a backup plan in place, because it could be raining, it could be hailstone. So that maybe makes it a little bit difficult. And as well, because I know there are a lot of countries which we would competing against would be like Spain, Portugal, Italy. Ireland is quite expensive. So to be aware of that, and as well to be careful, you're not always getting value for the money.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's interesting. We will come back to cost, because I have heard that before and I'm very curious about it. But let's stick on the weather for a second whilst we're talking about it. As you said, a million seasons in one day, usually like a 4 o'clock zenith when the sun decides to show its face, and then it will go back in at 5. Are there any months that you recommend getting married in Ireland, and ones that you should definitely avoid?
I mean, it's probably, the best months would be between May and September. Mm-hmm. And it could be like, you could have it now still very bright, and like where I used to work, it was kind of a restaurant, and you would have kind of view out of the sea, and it's just, you can get the most amazing sunsets here, and you can get them like at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and it just, you just still go wow. So it's just the most beautiful thing. But probably June, July, August, it could be getting quite busy, because as well, there's midterm break. I mean, the summer holidays, and they're actually quite long in Ireland, so they actually go 3 months.
Yeah.
So it could get quite busy. So I would say, like, I mean, I think May is a beautiful month, and you could have really here in September, it's kind of still, you could get the Indian summer. So I kind of do think, but you probably could get married all year round, because it's just not getting as wintry kind of here than anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could probably get married any time, because the weather is not going to be fabulous at any time, to be honest.
So it just goes. I mean, like today we are at the end of March, and it's actually a beautiful sunny day, so it's kind of.
Oh, well, you're lucky it's grey and raining here, so I think we've swapped accidentally. Fabulous. No, that's good. All right, so let's play a little game. Let's play a little scenario then. We have a couple that is coming from New Zealand today. So we have a couple from New Zealand. They have around 50 guests, and they want to get married in May. And they want to get married in Ireland. How much do you think that they should budget for that wedding? And I know it's a very difficult question to answer, so whatever ballpark you can give us is great.
I mean, of course, like I said, like every wedding planner would tell you as well, it just depends on your uniqueness. But I mean, kind of to get a decent wedding, I would say you need about 25,000 to 30,000 euro. Of course, you can get it probably a little bit cheaper, and you can probably get it more expensive. But I think that's kind of a general rule for having a nice venue and having a really nice wedding.
Okay, no, that's great. No, it's a great place to start. So 25 to 30,000 euros. Lovely. So let's stick with our Australian couple then. Let's say they actually want to do all of their paperwork and they want to sign everything in Ireland. Maybe they want a Catholic wedding, maybe they want a civil wedding. Is that an easy process? Do you recommend it, or do you think they should sign it at home?
I mean, I do think, like what probably every destination wedding planner would tell you as well, it is the easiest to do it in your own country. It just helps you kind of to go through all the paperwork, and if anything happens to kind of to the license, of course, it's the easiest to get it back into your country. Here, it's not too bad. Catholic, it's probably that's more difficult, to be honest. But if you would go like civil ceremony, so you would need kind of the paperwork, of course, your passport, your proof of address, and then you need a multilingual standard form. If you kind of like from another country, okay, they're probably English as well, so that's okay. Then you would need a letter of freedom to get married. You can send that in per post, but you kind of need to calculate that in that before you're getting married, you need to plan a week extra beforehand, because you need to go to the registry office 5 days before your wedding date to kind of sign all the paper, and then you would get your green folder and you could move forward with your wedding. You have to maybe be a little bit careful. Here in Ireland, it's kind of the rule, you can just get married in locations which are kind of certified from the HSE. So it's not, you can't get married anyway. But if you, for example, would have gotten married in your own country to get the paperwork, you could have like a meaningful ceremony anywhere, just with kind of a celebrant. So you could even go on the beach or whatever, where it's not allowed, because the beach is not yet, kind of, if that makes sense.
Because it's not accredited. Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, you have more freedom of where you do things if you don't want to sign the paperwork where it is. No, that's fabulous. And yeah, it seems to be like a running theme between this series. Everyone's saying do it at home and then get married anywhere you want, so much better.
Like I said, it is possible. There is a few little bit paperwork, but like for my own wedding as well, because we still have to get stuff from Germany. It's kind of, it is all possible, but of course the easiest thing is to get it done at home.
Absolutely. So we love to talk about venues on this channel. We love to look at nice, beautiful places that you might recommend. I know that your style is very, style-led, fashion-led, quite modern, and you can bring that to anywhere. But do you have a few wedding venues that you really recommend that our audience check out?
Yeah, of course. It's kind of, as you said it already, my concepts are kind of all bespoke, and I like to create them around the couple's uniqueness. So I'm not so drawn to like certain venues. I really like to keep that open and just see what the couple likes. So I did put a selection of 3 venues together, just to cover a few different things. The first one would be Cliffs of Howth, or Howth Cliffs, because I think they're totally underutilized against the Cliffs of Moher. And it's actually surprisingly, the cliffs are, you could get married and have that amazing photo opportunities quite close to Dublin. So you could kind of go. So Howth Cliffs, check that out. That would be amazing. Then if you come to Ireland just about for the history and kind of get all that castles and whatever, so that would be, the Americans would be really drawn to that. I would recommend the Kilkee Castle, which is in Kildare. It's a lovely 5-star hotel, and you just really get that feeling of castle, and you drive in and you have a long pathway, and it's just a really nice luxury wedding venue. I do really much like to use as well like smaller country houses, which are kind of where you maybe can get the whole venue for yourself. And most of them, they're privately owned and they're just lovingly restored. I adore Firment House. The couple, they just have that venue lovingly restored, and it's just you can have that exclusively and really put your stamp on. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful. They sound absolutely wonderful. Now we'll leave the links to all of those into the description box down below. But thank you so much for giving us a tour, a visual tour, a podcasty tour of weddings in Ireland. I'm so excited to learn more about weddings in Ireland because it is so important to me. And if anyone wants to get married in Ireland, how can they get in contact with you, Sandra?
It's kind of, I mean, I have a website which you probably put up, and I'm quite active on Instagram, Infusion Weddings. So you can just follow me along and you can send me a DM at any time. It would be my pleasure to talk to you and let you know more about Ireland as a wedding venue.
Amazing. So we'll leave those links on screen and pinned to the top comment and in the description box down below. I want to thank you again for coming onto the channel and educating us about weddings in Ireland. And if anyone listening wants to get married in Ireland and wants to get in contact with Sandra, then the links are down below. Love you and leave you for now. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.